What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have a really amazing news. I will show you that Peirce finally answered our questions. But does it mean that it is enough to push our case forward? I will tell you all the details. On top of that, guys, I will show you an update on SEC versus John Burda litigation, and also I will show you the actions that are not the best one, and I have to admit that I don't like these actions from MMTLP community. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And today's video I want to begin again with this open letter, and for now we have 407 signatures under this petition, and you have just couple of hours left till Daniel removes this petition, and he will send a physical letter to the Congress, and he will add this information to his litigation. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, please read this petition, and if you agree with all of these statements, you can definitely sign it. So, and let me show you the most important news of today's video. You know that just a couple of days ago, basically 10 days ago, Due Diligence wrote this letter to Peirce and Mark Ueda, and I covered this letter in details in one of my previous videos. And for now, guys, we have an answer from Peirce, and we have an answer to the answer of Peirce. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the answer itself because of this. Let me show you that Bangarang wrote this 11 hours ago. Can you post their initial response? And Due Diligence wrote, no, I cannot, because it intended with this, but I will tell you that I was basically passed over to the office of the ombuds, but they cannot stop me from posting my response. And here you can see the part of the letter, the part of the answer of Peirce, and here you can see the highlighted paragraph. And any review, dissemination, distribution, copying or use of this communication is strictly prohibited. So, unfortunately, it is some kind of NDA, but it is what it is. We have the answer of Due Diligence to this letter, and let me show you this. Oh, hello SEC and Peirce. So kind of your office to respond. Allow me to post my response to your response. And let me quote you this letter in details. I appreciate your response, but let's be clear. This is the same bureaucratic deflection that MMTLP shareholders have been dealing with for over 2 years. I personally met with Commissioner Peirce on February 9th of 2024 at great personal expense, and yet here we are, over a year later, with nothing to show for it. Just empty comments and a ton more evidence that MMTLP shareholders went to great lengths to secure, which irrefutably, irreversibly and incontrovertibly calls for share audit to be performed. Now, instead of addressing the evidence presented, this issue is being recycled through vague internal discussions while investors remain in financial limbo. You state that the Ombuds Office is so-called in the process of communicating our concerns. But what exactly does that mean? To whom are you communicating my concerns? Where is the accountability? What happened to MMTLP investors was outright deception. There is a ton here from start to finish, but I will try to be as brief as possible. First off, this security was never even authorized to be traded by the company. And despite being asked countless times, FINRA refuses to be transparent about which brokerage is responsible for the symbol being listed. FINRA also told us we had until December 12, 2022 to close our positions. This is substantiated by the VP of OTC Markets on December 7th. Attached is a clip of his appearance on a broadcast, only to suddenly halt trading on December 9th, cutting off any chance for investors to exit. Since then, we have uncovered overwhelming evidence of serious misconduct, including regulatory failures, FINRA has refused to perform a transparent share count audit, lying about their authority to do so, despite clear authority under Rules 4140 and 4511 being delegated to them to do just that. If there was nothing to hide, why not prove it? Next one. Fraudulent trading practices. We now know that broker-dealers facilitated illegal fractional share trading of MMTLP despite those shares being explicitly prohibited. This allowed them to manipulate supply and suppress prices. Next one. Market manipulation cover-up. FINRA acknowledges that there are at least 2.65 million short positions in NextBridge hydrocarbons, even though it is a non-tradable stock. That's funny about that is that no more than 24 hours after they made this statement, the company released a statement that this was impossible, because a single financial institution that represents short sellers has approached to the company about buying many multiples of that amount of shares. Yet brokers have refused to disclose their liability, and some are even admitting they do not have enough shares to fulfill their obligations. Is this transparency to you? Next one, as you can see, it is pretty much completely blacked out, but we have some details. We have absolute and definitive evidence of, and here is the blacked out information, and the next part, environment ripe for naked short selling and phantom share manipulation. This is not just negligence, it is complicity and demands immediate regulatory intervention and accountability. This is a clear-cut issue of market manipulation and abuse, and the SEC is the only body equipped to restore accountability and justice. Next one, corporate sabotage by short sellers. Evidence obtained through FOIA shows that short sellers actively interfered with NextBridge hydrocarbons operations, even going so far as to send threatening emails to company executives and defame the CEO to university lands to try to force them into bankruptcy. So I ask you directly, what, if anything, is the SEC actually doing to address this? Don't give me the line about your active investigation. Again, some blacked out information. If the agency is taking this seriously, then please provide a concrete update that can be relayed to suffering shareholders, not just another run around. I expect a direct and substantive response by February the 7th of 2025. Make no mistake, the issue is not going away. If the SEC refuses to act, we will escalate through Congress, media investigations and legal avenues to ensure the truth comes out. The only question is whether the SEC wants to be seen as a part of the problem or part of the solution. I look forward to your response. If you want to discuss even further, you can call me anytime at, and here is again some personal information. And guys, I have to admit that I'm almost 100% agree with due diligence, but I have some questions. First of all, here is the information that we have more than 2.65 million short positions according to Greg McCabe's statement and according to PR statement that was written by NextBridge Hydrocarbons. But when Scott Roth tried to ask Greg directly what was the number of these short positions, Greg refused to answer it, and he basically started to attack Scott because of his actions, and it is another quite shady part of our case. On top of that, guys, let me show you right here that we have a lot of blacked out information that Drew doesn't want to disclose. And I have to admit that if this information is so important, why in the world he doesn't want to share this information with our headliners who has an active lawsuits against authorities? In my opinion, it might be very helpful, but for some reasons he doesn't want to do it. On top of that, guys, right here, he clearly stated that if SEC refused to act, we will escalate through legal avenues to ensure the truth comes out. And guys, we are in legal procedures. We are in We have several active lawsuits. Why in the world due diligence doesn't want to help these people to attack the wrongdoers by the lawsuits? In my opinion, it could be very helpful and it could lead us to some additional breakthroughs, especially if due diligence has some sensitive information that he doesn't want to disclose. So again, these questions, in my opinion, needs more clarification. On top of that, guys, I want to show you that FINRA, let me show you the rules that, wait a second, FINRA had to follow their own rules, 4140 and 4511, as he mentioned, as Drew mentioned under his first bullet point. But on top of that, guys, let me show you this. RareDD posted this tweet. If the goal is to lie, cheat and steal, investor education is a regulator's worst nightmare. Have you noticed that FINRA didn't once mention the actual name of their Rule 6490 in their MMTLP FAQs? Why not include the name of the rule that describes the process of reviewing corporate action submissions, if one of the main purposes of the FAQs was to explain the MMTLP corporate actions? If they did, it might have encouraged investors to educate themselves on what the rule actually says. FINRA failed to adhere to their Rule 6490 in multiple ways. The SEC doesn't seem to care. Why, FBI? And he added again several screenshots that proves his words, and I have to admit that the questions, in my opinion, crucial questions that need to be answered are still in some kind of limbo because of the inactions of authorities. And we are trying to act from different perspectives. But guys, let me show you one perspective that I definitely don't like. You know that just recently Ralph Norman became extremely active on his Twitter account, and under each and every his tweet, MMTLP community posts a lot of tweets in regards to our case. And I totally support this type of actions. But guys, we have some topics that shouldn't be interrupted by our tweets. Let me show you this. Scott reposted and he basically answered to the Samantha's tweet, and Samantha wrote this: 64 die in a tragic accident and greedy MMTLP army losers start flooding comments with MMTLP nonsense. The MMTLP cult is full of wild, greedy people demanding a redo on their pump and dump scam. Well, it's never happening. And this is why you are despised and ignored. And she added several screenshots of the tweets that were published under the Ralph Norman tweet. And Ralph Norman wrote, "A full investigation will take place and we will get answers for the families of the 64 souls that were reunited with the Lord last night." And he's talking about the horrific tragedy that happened just several hours ago when a Black Hawk colluded with the aircraft and a lot of people died, a lot of innocent people died. But at the same time, guys, a lot of people from MMTLP community are still trying to ask Ralph Norman under this tweet about the MMTLP case. Guys, in my opinion, it is very irresponsible and it is miserable act of, I don't know what type of act it is, because, guys, take a look right here. These two young people, they died in this catastrophe. And let me quote to this. Just in, Angela Young and Sean Kay, two child ice dancers, were among the victims of the tragic DC plane crash. This was reportedly their last performance they did together before the crash. Heartbreaking. And guys, unfortunately, there are more children, ice dancers died in this crash, and I have to admit that a lot of people from Russia also died there because they came back from some kind of competition. And unfortunately, this act is 100. Wait a second. This act, these actions are 100% irresponsible and, in my opinion, just a dirty attempt to push our case forward on this tragic actions. And in Russia, we have a very meaningful statement. It is a dance on the bones. Unfortunately, I don't want to tell anything more about this. And let me show you, let me switch to another update that happened just recently. Roman Soups wrote this tweet 6 hours ago. MMTLP continues filed by John Burda in SEC versus Burda and Palikers. Rule 16 conference that was scheduled for March 19th to be continued to April 16th. Rule 26F conference still on for February 14th, 2025. And he added the link to this document. It is not the longest document, and the main purpose of this document is the conference is postponed. Basically, let me show you this. For now, we still have the same deadlines for Rule 26F attorney conference. It will happen on February 14th of this year. Next one, complete initial mandatory disclosures required by this order on February 24th. Next one, file joint report of attorney conference on February 28th of this year. And this conference, wait a second. And this conference is postponed from March 19th to April 16th. So, time will tell what will be the resolution for this case, but for now, guys, please be polite, please respect other people, and please do whatever you can in order to push our case forward.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad.